Individual Directed Goods and Services in Maine Self-Direction Program. Individual Directed Goods and Services, also called IDGS or Individual Goods and Services, are a special type of service that allows for maximum flexibility and creativity. Individual directed goods and services are only available to members who self-direct home support, community support, or both. Individual directed goods and services allow members to purchase items or services that will help them manage their disability or make progress towards their goals and outcomes. IDGS purchased through this service category must not be purchased in the HCBS support waiver or Maine Care. They must also not be covered by other service categories such as assistive technology or home accessibility adaptations. Individual directed goods and services are accrued or saved up based on the hours of home support and/or community support a member receives up to an annual maximum. Having an IDGS accrual means dollars are not available right away. Funds need to be built up over time. Sometimes a member might need to wait a month or a few months to accrue enough IDGS dollars for a purchase. The support broker can help members estimate how much they will accrue each month when they are completing a spending plan together. The actual accrual will depend on the number of employee hours used. So, if a member plans to hire employees for 20 hours, but then only uses 10 hours, the IDGS accrual will be based on the actual hours the employee worked, the 10 hours. One tip or best practice is to wait at least 1 month to see how many dollars are accrued before a purchase is made. Remember, like all other items being purchased in self-direction, members must include all IDGS items on the spending plan. If needs or desires change, that's fine and part of self-directing, but the support broker and member will need to edit the spending plan before an IDGS item can be purchased. Now let's talk about how to request IDGS. Members can request purchases using the Individual Directed Goods and Services Request Form, which is a form the member completes with their support broker and then submits to the case manager. The form can be found on the ODE's Self-Direction website. One form should be completed for each IDGS item. When case managers receive an Individual Directed Goods and Services form, they review the form along with the member's PCP to ensure the item aligns with the member's needs and goals and is an allowable purchase. The IDGS request form includes questions to help confirm the purchase is allowable. These questions include, is this purchase for the primary benefit of someone other than you, such as a friend, family member, or worker? Is this purchase available through a different Maine Care funding source or service category, such as family support, durable medical equipment, or assistive technology? Can you purchase this good or service with your own personal non-waiver funds? Is this purchase for recreational or entertainment purposes? Is this purchase for room and board? Is this purchase for general home or vehicle maintenance or repair? Is this purchase on the state non-allowable list? Keep in mind, the full list is at the end of the form. If you answer yes to any of these questions, you need to reconsider the request or revise the PCP. When the case manager receives an IDGS form, the case manager will confirm that the item aligns with the person-centered plan. The item would not be covered by a different service category, such as assistive technology. The item is for the individual member benefit and not for the benefit of a family member or friend. The item is not on the unallowable list. The full unallowable list can be found on the Individual Directed Goods and Services request form. The case manager should be familiar with this list. The case manager ensures that the request aligns with the member's person-centered plan. If it does, the case manager submits an authorization request to the ODE's resource coordinator. There are a few reasons the case manager might send an Individual Directed Goods and Services request form back to the member and support broker. If the case manager does have questions about how a good or service ties back to the member's PCP, or if the case manager believes the item is not allowed, the case manager will request additional information or possibly revisions from the member and support broker. Let's discuss in more detail what an individual directed goods and service item might be. Keep in mind, there's actually no pre-approved list of things members can buy with individual directed goods and services. However, there are a small number of unallowable things that cannot be purchased with individual directed goods and services under Maine Care rules. This list is included with every individual directed goods and services request form to make it easier to check. The non-allowable individual directed goods and services include any item covered through a different service category, such as assisted technology transmission, home accessibility adaptations, repairs and replacements, home accessibility adaptations, items covered through a different Medicare funding source, cash payments, gifts or loans for participant-directed workers, family, or friends, food or other beverages, including nutritional supplements, entertainment equipment or downloadable files, air conditioners, heaters, fans, and similar items, illegal drugs, alcoholic beverages, tobacco products, or vaping devices, costs associated with travel, such as airfare, lodging, meals, etc., for vacation or entertainment, utility costs, rental costs, or mortgage payments, clothing or shoes or other wearing apparel, household linens, towels, or drapes, paint and related supplies, cleaning for other household members or areas of a home that are not used as part of the waiver participant's personal care, medications, vitamins, or herbal supplements, experimental or prohibited treatments and procedures, household cleaning supplies, vehicle expenses, landscape and yard work, pet care, massages, manicures, pedicures, or any other cosmetic service or supply, or any other item not specified which does not meet the scope of service. Now let's talk about the most important part, the individual and individual directed goods and services. Keep in mind that just because one member purchased something, that same item might not support a different member's needs and goals. In other words, it doesn't matter what other members are buying or not buying with individual directed goods and services. The focus should be on the individual member's person-centered plan and how to support their needs and goals. Remember, the member does have the decision-making authority. If the case manager or support broker thinks a member who wants to buy a particular computer would be better off with a cheaper model than the one the member has selected, the member has the decision-making authority about how to spend their budget. Neither a case manager or a support broker should tell a member that they cannot purchase an allowable item that the budget could cover. When the member and the support broker complete the individual directed goods and services request form in the spending plan tool, they have a conversation about options to meet the member's needs and goals. Case managers and support brokers are not in control of resources or services. Both are there to support the member in achieving their goals. Now I'd like to share some additional examples to help provide more specific context of individual directed goods and services. A member's PCP might have a goal of being out in the community. A member with an interest in art could take an art class with individual directed goods and services. The art class might begin as a private class with a long-term goal of joining a group class. Additionally, assisted technology funds could be used to purchase adaptive supplies for art as well as noise-canceling headphones for larger gatherings. The IDGS funds could also be used to reimburse for the cost of mileage to and from the class. In another example, a member might list a Ring doorbell in their spending plan under IDGS. It would be appropriate for the case manager to send the spending plan and the individual directed goods and services form back to the member and support broker with a note saying it should be covered under assisted technology rather than individual directed goods and services. The member and the support broker would then need to revise the spending plan in the individual directed goods and services request form. Remember, the purpose of individual directed goods and services is to allow for creativity in meeting the member's needs beyond what the waiver and Maine Care can provide. For more information on individual directed goods and services in Maine Self-Direction Program, visit the Self-Directed Services webpage on the ODES website.